And for the last 12 days, Glasgow has played host to COP26, the world's biggest climate conference of the decade. The event brought together world leaders and major climate actors to engage in discussions on how to mitigate the challenges of climate change. And as the curtains come down in Glasgow, Switch TV takes a look at how climate change has affected communities living in the coastal areas of Somalia and Somaliland. A crew of Hilary Kirui and Samira Kibache travelled to the Horn of Africa and prepared this report.
Nature, beautiful and serene. But this is only so when you treat it right. Human activity has time and again changed this narrative. The result of this unwarranted human activity is exactly what you see here. According to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, human emissions and activities have caused around 100% of the planet Earth's warming observed since the 1950s. If this persists, soon we will have no planet to talk about. Everyone has to play their part in forestalling this reality and reverse the adverse effects of human activity. Located along the Red Sea, Bulhar is a historical coastal town in Sahel region of Somaliland. The district had an estimated population of 7,000 people, 2,000 of them residing within the town. Due to internal migration, there are only 500 people residing in the town currently. Residents of this district struggle with increased heat, drought, and insect outbreaks. Effects that have pushed these populations to extreme poverty. Ahmed Hersi Yusuf has lived in Bulhar since 1946. He has witnessed the changes in climatical conditions ever since childhood. He worries that the situation is getting worse by the day.
Before, Bulhar used to be green, but now all trees are basically not there. It is just drought. As a community, we don't know what to do. The heat keeps on increasing day by day.
Bulhar Primary School is located within the village. It is the only education institution around here. The school initially had a student population of 140, but now there are only 6 pupils. The majority migrated to other places due to unbearable high temperatures. Classrooms are too hot. A situation that denies pupils a chance at decency. They are mostly in vests as opposed to school uniform during class time.
After the summer break, many children are not yet back to school. In other parts of Somaliland, schools are opened and running smoothly. Due to this prolonged summer, our children are lagging behind, prompting for a solution, which is to build a boarding school and equip it with necessary facilities such as cooling system and also providing them with water and food.
Indeed, global warming affects all dwellers on Earth. Our habitats disappear rapidly. In Bulhar, animals have also suffered the brunt of climate change. Prolonged drought in the area has pushed residents to employ extreme measures to get water for drinking and other domestic use.
Due to increased temperature, climate has really affected the health of this community, especially old people and women. Now in Bulhar, there is shortage of water, and when it rains, people take advantage of it for the basic use, and this causes an increase in the number of people suffering from waterborne diseases.
One of the considerations when building a residential house in this area is climate. Here in Bulhar, residential houses are mainly shanties that are poorly constructed. However, these shanties barely shield them from the excessive heat, a situation worsened by congestion. People often opt to sleep outside at night instead. Along the Indian Ocean coastline in Puntland state of Somalia lies an ancient town known as Bandar Beyla. Like Bulhar, This town and its environs experiences effects of climate change. But unlike the former, residents here are faced with challenges brought about by strong winds. The town has a population of approximately 10,000 people. Their main economic activity is fishing. However, fishing activity right now barely sustains the residents, since the activity has been severely affected by changing weather patterns. The ocean is characterized by very strong winds, which makes fishing very difficult. Fishermen are forced to study the weather patterns first before they set sail into the sea. With a bit of luck, fishing has better returns during the calm wee hours of the day since tides are a bit calm. Lack of proper fishing has adversely affected livelihoods. Most residents here live below the poverty line. Effects of this situation have also spilled to other sectors such as education. Bandar Bela primary and secondary schools register high dropout rates. Most parents are unable to pay school fees. Residents of Bandar Bela say that memories of the tsunami that happened in 1975 and 2005 still linger in their minds. The catastrophe left hundreds of residents without sources of income as their fishing equipment such as boats were destroyed. This unfortunate incident brought the economy of the town to its knees. The devastating effects of the tsunami are still being felt to date. Many whose houses were destroyed remain homeless. Populations in Bulhar and Bandar Bela are among millions across the world already compounded by the devastating effects of climate change. It is up to all of us to play our part in limiting greenhouse gas emissions and their effect on temperatures and ecosystems. It is our duty to protect the earth for the sake of future generations.